Who is Aafia Sidique and why does her case command global attention? Born on the 2nd of March 1972 in Karachi, Pakistan, Aafia Sidique is a neuroscientist whose life took an unexpected turn. With an unwavering dedication to her studies, she pursued her education in the United States, earning degrees in biology and neuroscience from premier institutions like MIT and Brandeis University. Her life was seemingly on track until she vanished in 2003 with her 3 children in Pakistan. The mystery surrounding her disappearance deepened when she resurfaced in Afghanistan 5 years later, only to be arrested by Afghan security forces. Accusations of attempted murder of US personnel while in custody led to her trial and subsequent conviction by a US court. Aafia Siddique's arrest and trial sparked an international outcry, but what led to these events? Stay tuned as we delve into the enigma that is Aafia Sidique. The year 2008 brought Aafia Sidique back into the limelight, but under starkly different circumstances. Suddenly, she reappeared in Afghanistan, where she was apprehended by Afghan security forces. The circumstances surrounding her arrest were as murky as those of her disappearance 5 years prior. The Pakistani neuroscientist, once known for her academic prowess, was now standing accused of attempting to murder US personnel while in custody. As the charges against her unfolded, they painted a picture of a woman vastly different from the accomplished scholar that people had known. Siddique was accused of seizing a rifle while detained and opening fire on US soldiers and FBI agents. She was promptly subdued, but the incident left a lasting impression. 2 years later, in 2010, Siddique found herself standing trial in a US federal court, thousands of miles away from her home. The charges were grave: attempted murder, armed assault, using and carrying a firearm, and assault on US officers and employees. The trial was fraught with tension, as Siddique's defense argued for her innocence, citing a lack of physical evidence and clear motive. The jury, however, was not swayed. After a trial that lasted weeks, they delivered a guilty verdict on all counts. The court sentenced Siddique to 86 years in prison, a sentence that was as shocking as it was severe. The trial's conclusion was met with a wave of protests. Many decried the decision, arguing that it was a gross miscarriage of justice. The lack of clear evidence, they argued, coupled with Siddique's questionable mental state, should have been enough to acquit her. The trial ended with Siddique sentenced to 86 years in prison, a decision that sparked widespread protests and claims of injustice. This marked the end of one chapter in Siddique's life, but the beginning of another, one fraught with controversy and debate that continues to this day. The case of Aafia Sidique is far from black and white, mired in controversy and sparking international attention. The convolution of Siddique's case lies not only in the serious allegations against her, but also in the way her arrest, trial and subsequent conviction were handled. Claims of injustice and unfair targeting due to her nationality and faith have been a constant echo in the global discourse surrounding her case. Siddique's arrest in Afghanistan, the charges brought against her, and her trial in a US federal court have all been subjects of heated controversy. Many argue that she was a victim of a post-9/11 world, targeted for her nationality and Muslim faith. These allegations of unfair treatment have not only resonated within Pakistan, but have found a global audience painting her as a symbol of the potential abuse of power in the name of national security. The international attention her case has garnered is significant. It's not just about Siddique as an individual, it's about the broader issues her case represents: the treatment of detainees, the importance of fair trials, and the respect for human rights. Her story has become a rallying cry for those advocating for justice and transparency in legal processes worldwide. Calls for her release have been made by several entities, including Islamic scholars and Muslim advocacy groups. They argue that the charges against her were based on insufficient evidence and that she was mistreated in custody. These claims, coupled with the severity of her sentence, have fueled a sense of injustice that continues to fuel campaigns for her release. Yet, amidst the outcry and the controversy, Siddique remains incarcerated in a US federal prison. Despite the international attention and the calls for her release, the US court's verdict still stands, and she continues to serve her lengthy sentence. Despite the ongoing controversy, Aafia Sidique remains in a US federal prison, a symbol of a case that has raised crucial questions about justice, human rights, and international law.